Diversity Presentation by Mary Haywood. I first started with the developmental stages. Zooming in here, the development stages, I first wanted to show some pictures of me growing up, me in school, and then me and my son when we went to our trip in Alaska, and then my little family that I have. Clicking on this first one, I found that I was in the second identity stage. This identity status represents a low degree of exploration, but a high degree of commitment. I am still following the beliefs and values my family taught me, doing more what they have laid out for me rather than me exploring what I want. When researching more about the identity stages, I found I was still currently in stage 1. I have not taken the time to learn anything more about my ethnicity. And then on this last one researching, I found that I'm in stage 6. I'm wanting a loving relationship with somebody. Bouncing out of here, I want to jump into religion. Religion, my father was a Baptist pastor who is now in Anchorage, Alaska. My mother goes to an undenominational church in Granbury, Texas. My son and I now go to a non-denominational church in Granbury also. Wanting to learn a little bit more about Baptists believe that the Holy Bible was written by men who were inspired by God. They believe that God is the Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit with the distinct personnel attributes but without division of nature or being. Salvation involves the redemption of the whole man and is offered freely to all who accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, who by his own blood obtained eternal redemption for the believer. Jumping out about that, I wanted to talk more about me. I wanted to show some pictures of my life, of me and my sister, my family growing up, and then the family that I have right now. Going into age and gender, I am 22 years old. I am a female. The advantages of being 22, I have most of the time a lot of energy, which helps me stay active with my son. Disadvantages of being 22, oftentimes people doubt my parenting ability due to me being young. Racial and sexual identity. I'm a Caucasian female. I am heterosexual in a loving relationship with my fiance. We all have a loving 3-year-old boy named Tatum. My ethnic origins. On my mother's side, we traced our family back to Scotland on my grandfather's side. Then, on my grandmother's side, we found Native American. However, we are unsure of the tribe of Native American. We have not had a chance to look into my father's side due to the fact that he lives in Alaska. Wanting to learn more about Scotland values, I found cultural tensions still exist between the Catholics and the Protestants and the Highlanders and Lowlanders. Coastal fishing villages are oriented around the bay or inlets, and farm towns usually have a center high street. Meals such as meats and taters, or ground beef and boiled mashed potatoes, and homemade curries are common. Whiskey oftentimes serves as a symbolic marker for a special occasion. Wanting to learn a little bit more about Native Americans. Native Americans' respect for nature, they were conservationists. Life is represented by a circle. No one is first or last. In their circle, everyone is equal. They also state that as a parent, no one should harm a child or try to make them into something they are not. Jumping from here, I wanted to go into life changes. There are more. I grew up on a large ranch in Hillsboro, Texas. I grew up with 4 older siblings and 1 younger. We were raised to always use our manners, and chores came before play. We then moved to Florida for my dad's church. Living there, we learned how to interact with many different people and to keep an open mind. In Florida, my parents started their divorce, which led to alcoholism and court, both parents going in and out of jail. Moving back to Texas, I began to focus on bettering myself and focusing on my schooling. Our mental and physical abilities. Mental abilities. My grandmother on my mother's side has Alzheimer's. She also had breast cancer, which turned into stage 4 cancer. She was able to beat her cancer and is now free from it. My father is bipolar and also has depression, which led to his addiction to alcohol. My brother has dyslexia and struggles sometimes at reading. I have severe anxiety and I struggle with depression. Our physical abilities. My mother has hypothyroidism and is about to go into surgery. My father has had 3 strokes and is disabled. I am hypoglycemic and have to watch my blood sugar. My grandfather had a massive stroke and passed away this summer. Jumping out of that, implications into social work. Moving around a lot growing up, I found a love for meeting and getting to know new people. Having a passion to help people and understand why people think the way they do. Having these qualities, I feel like will help me on any level of social work. I will get to constantly meet new people and talk about their lives, trying first to understand them as a person. I have a lot of work to be able to help other people the way I want to, focusing first on helping and understanding myself, then taking that knowledge to help others in the best way I can. Jumping out of that, I just wanted to show, this is my Works Cited. This is kind of where I found all the information that I needed. And then just because I wasn't sure where to show it, I also wanted to show, this is my handout for the rest of my classmates, just with the initial information that they need.